Hi everybody, this is Dale. Welcome to my channel, Not Too Shabby Chic. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed to my channel, new subbies and long-time subbies. I appreciate all of you so very much, and I wanted to share with you my design team project that I did for HappinessInCrafting, Gi Kerr. I used her Shabby Shades of Yellow digital kit, and it is beautiful. So I will link her Etsy store below, and I will link her YouTube channel below and her Facebook group below. She does a Friday freebie every week, and everyone already knows how awesome Gi is because she does the best tutorials always, and you get a lot of ideas and inspiration from her. So without further ado, let's get started. This is the tassel. It's a gold chain with a bell cap, a bead, and a little resin kind of stone. It's made with a bulb pin, so you can detach it if you like. And the cover is made of wallpaper, and I've got obviously vintage lace trims. This button trim is from Hobby Lobby. It's one of my favorite trims I get from them. And I tied it with a vintage lace that I gathered up and made a ruffle. The spine has the lace over it, and it is quite chunky, as are all of my journals, even though I try not to make them over chunky. So this just comes off. I may decide to glue it on, but for now it's separate, and I've got some strings that I want to pull out. So that is the cincher. I included it because it was just too full, this little tiny journaling book, and it's the papers are from the kit. And this is a vintage, turn it right side up, a vintage doily that I've put on the spine, and it's just got coffee dyed papers in for the signature. So it's just a little extra something something for you. Actually, not for you. This is already spoken for. A friend of mine at church got a preview, and she has some gifts to buy, and she's already laid claim to it. So this one is already sold, but I love this textured wallpaper. I got this from Melissa Barnes, MAB Studios, and you should check her out. She is awesome, and she's very creative and very talented. And she gave me this, and I just love the cover. I just didn't think it needed much, so I did the buttons, the top and bottom, and thought that was all I needed. The inside here we have a little pocket that I put a little yellow and brown bird feather with a vintage button, and this is from the kit. This someone sent me, and I put one of the hearts from the kit on it. A little pink hugs and kisses, a little tag. And there's no pink in this journal except for this, but I just thought this was so cute, and I put the heart on it, so I included that. And this is just a little journaling card that's been stitched. Most of the tags, cards, what have you, and the pages are stitched. There you might find one or two that aren't, a few, but for the most part they are. And I use black thread. This is a gorgeous journaling card from the kit. You can resize them and just make them do all kinds of things. So they are super cool. So there's these two, or nope, those go here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets in this little thing, and this someone gave me in Happy Mail, and I've been hoarding it and decided to use it in this journal. This is from the kit. Beautiful digital card or from the kit, and this is a vintage flash card that I stitched around and inked. And I think, yes, down inside I have a larger journaling card from the kit. It's like one of the small ones. So you've got lots of journaling space in this journal, more so than what I typically have. This is from the kit, a gorgeous page. See the kind of coral flowers, and this doesn't show up coral, but it's a piece of fiber that's corally, and this is from the Hopeful Bird, You Are a Beautiful Reflection of Love. And then a piece of vintage rickrack, and this is made into a pocket. And I have a vintage Dewey Decimal System card from a library, and it's for recordings by this composer, Jelly Roll Morton. Yeah. And I put a tab from the kit. It's one of her Gi's ovals, but I made it into a tab. And then this is a vintage index card that's been coffee dyed with some pattern on it. So you have that. Let's see if I can get them down in there right. Next page. This page is a little stiff because I used a green file folder. And this is fabric covered here. Some fabric from my stash. And you see this beautiful little tuck spot from the kit. And here's another journaling card in the kit as well. And I just did a lace, piece of vintage lace and vintage button decoration there. This is coffee dyed paper from Jovi, Creating with Jovi. It's got the sparkle in it. I don't know if it shows up very well. I put a Tim Holtz couple there, and it's a ruffle. This side is the other side, and just a piece of old cut up doily piece that I had left, and I think I'm going to cut that little piece off right there. This is the coffee dyed masking paper, and this just has a fabric tab that, like the fabric here, that page. This is a little short page. It's got a vine stitch. This is just scrapbook paper. Now on this side was white, so I stenciled and put vintage pieces of cut up doily there, and use the vine stitch, obviously. Then this is a beautiful piece of yellow graph or grid paper or something. I think I got this from BB with BB's Closet Creations, but I'm not 100% sure. And this is from the Hopeful Bird. It says Fear Not, and as I did this journal, that theme began to kind of pop up. I didn't plan it that way, but it is kind of a theme you'll see run throughout. And of course I did some sloppy stitching. Fear Not on that side. You've got journaling space. This is a cute little shabby pocket where I just collaged some fabric and lace and what have you. And then this comes out. This is from Dust Fairies. Beautiful piece of fabric and a piece of lace that I got at Hobby Lobby, and you could journal on the back of that. And this just slides right back in there like so. Then on this side, it's just the same thing. You can see the other side of the card, and just a little bit of fun collage from the Hopeful Bird, a piece of vintage lace and a vintage button. Here is some more coffee dyed paper. This is my paper, sloppy stitching, and a little piece of lace. Then on this side I have one of Gi's little label plates. I think that's what you call it. And I just collaged with some vintage buttons. This is a piece of scrapbook paper, fabric tab. I stenciled on this side some more of the ledger paper, yellow, with a fabric ruffle that I did. Isn't that pretty? Then here I have an altered paper clip from the little banner flags from Gi that are in the kit, and I just made it into a little altered paper clip, and this is some fiber hanging down. And then this is one of Gi's wonderful ideas that you can fold out for journaling space, and it's supposed to fold right back up. There we go. And this is from the kit. It's a beautiful daisy watermark almost, so you could journal on that as well. And let's get this. That just holds that heart down. And then this is just a little fabric tab from the kit, the backing page. Very pretty, and you can journal on that. Everything takes time. This is true, and my journals take a lot of time because I'm slow and I'm too nitpicky, although they may not look that I'm nitpicky, that I am. And this is a piece of my coffee dyed paper from the kit with a beautiful chandelier, the greens and yellows and some black, and I did use, you know, the black thread to sew. On that side, backing paper from the kit, coffee dyed paper with the cloth ruffle. This is just scrapbook paper that I did a collage, music paper. It says, "To the scheme of that gleam." And then this says, "Sing praises into the storm." Again, going back to the do not fear. And this is a fabric cluster with a vintage button I did. Then this is just a little tuck belly band from the kit, and I did it on the side and made a little tuck. And this is from the Hopeful Bird. Isn't that cute? You can journal on the back, and you can journal here. I did some stenciling. I just love this little journal, how it turned out. Some vintage trim, my coffee dyed papers. This is from the kit, gorgeous rose, and then I added a shabby chic little rose there and a fabric tab. Backing paper with the vine stitch. This is a little cluster I got in Happy Mail, and I put a whale tab on there. Coffee dyed paper to journal with. This is one of the little plates, title plates. I'm not sure, can't remember what these are called, but these are from the kit. And this little banner's from the kit. Oh, I forgot to sew it, and I forgot to ink it, so I'm going to ink it right now, but I'm not going to sew it. This one will just be a no-sew one, because I have been working on this for 3 weeks and I'm done with it. So that goes there. This are some of the little circles from the kit from Gi, and you just put a little, I put a little brad in there and just pull this apart. You can journal on the back, and then there it is. Isn't that cute? This is an idea I got from Pam at the Paper Outpost. Oh, it just came off. Oh no, that one I've had trouble with, so it'll go there. So there's that cute little pull apart. And then this is a little bag that I stenciled, and you have this tag. That piece in the middle is from the kit, and you can journal on the back. Just some vintage lace. And this is from the kit. It's a little corner thing, and I did it like a tuck and sewed around these. And my sewing is sloppy, and I meant for it to be that way because that's a vintage look to me. And I love the black thread because it goes with some of the black writing and stuff. This is a vintage Rolodex card, but I glued two together and made it look extra vintage with my inking and with glue. Isn't that cool? I love how that turned out. But I left it. You can journal on that or decorate it. Here's a page from the kit that's really pretty, and I did a little glassine bag with a vintage piece of lace right there. And I made this cute little tag from scrapbook paper, vintage button. You can journal on the back. That's cute. And this is vintage rickrack. This came off of a shirt, a little black flat rose, and I did some stenciling on that. This is some coffee dyed paper. It says, she confidently trusts the Lord to take care of her. Psalm 112 verse 7. Again, going back to do not fear. It's a smile. You get a lot further in life if you smile. It's harder to be mad when you smile. And a little fabric ruffle. So journaling space here and here. This is just a little banner with some vintage buttons on it and some little jewels there. This is a page from the kit, the larger page, and I got the little Tim Holtz guy standing on it. Well, it was cute. This is one of the label things that I made into a tab. Put a vintage button on this side, and then this side has this from the kit, and you can journal on the back. This is just a scrap lace, some of my my coffee dyed paper here. And then we have Enjoy Life. I got this in Happy Mail from, I want to say Dawn Tunis, but I'm not real sure. I've hoarded it and I decided to use it because I thought it went well. Especially Enjoy Life, you know, fear not. And you've got some, here are 2 fear not tickets. So when you start to feel fear come up or anxiety, grab one of your tickets. And remember, fear not. The Bible says God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. And there are 365 Bible verses on fearing. Fear not. So you've got one verse for every day of the year to help you. So just remember that, and you can Google them and find them. This side, this is also, by the way, an envelope, and I just made a tuck here for that and did some fabric collage. Here's a black feather that I made it look like a quill pen, and fear not, like I just wrote that. And that's a tuck from the envelope. This is from the chandelier from the kit. This is a piece of some kind of ticket, vintage something or other, I think, but I sewed around it, and it's a fun journaling piece. And then we have the Book of Esther, chapter 4 verse 14. Perhaps this is the moment for which you have been created, but you won't know it if you let fear get in the way. So again, fear not. And then this beautiful page from the kit, both pages, and the gazebo. In the center, I used Gi's hearts. I tied a bow and have the little hearts that are double-sided that I used and inked up. And then this is, as Gi would say, a dingly-dangly with a vintage button, and you could journal on the back. That's the center. This is a stamp I had. I just think it's so cute. I started to fill it in, and I thought, no, whoever gets the journal can color it themselves. This is the other side, the flap of that envelope with part of the kit in an oval shape and on cheesecloth. Then I just did a fabric cluster with a vintage button on music paper. My coffee dyed paper. This is from the kit. You can journal on that. And I did the fabric tab with a vintage button. This is another gorgeous page. Love the roses and the dragonfly, the vine stitch, journaling space. This is a whale tab on some my coffee dyed paper. Just a fabric collage with a vintage button and vintage rickrack. This is another altered paper clip. I used the little oval, actually it was a tag shape, and I messed up this side, but I went ahead and put some cheesecloth and a button and used it anyway. And then there's the back there, and that's to hold this down. And it's just, that's from the kit, and it's just a little envelope, and in the envelope is Psalm 112:7, which you already saw earlier. She confidently trusts the Lord to take care of her, and a little journaling spot for you, or for whoever gets this journal, because it is a gift that a friend of mine's buying it as a gift for someone. So I don't know who she's giving it to, but there. And then this is just a piece of die cut lattice work that I used as a tab, and that just holds, you know, that shut. Beautiful page from the kit. Then I made this piece from the kit a little tuck, and there's a little butterfly I added. You've got this little coffee dyed piece of paper to journal, and this is another of the chandelier from the kit for journaling. You just tuck that up there, and this is a glassine, white glassine bag that I stenciled and made this tag that I used food coloring to dye this, and put a vintage button there so you can journal him this on the back. Thought it was cute. Then on this side, I've got one of my fabric clusters with a button, some stenciling, a piece of pretty ribbon, and then this black butterflies with the yellow flowers. A journaling spot. It's a Hallmark card, vintage card. So I trimmed it down. It was not this narrow. Here's from the Hopeful Bird, an audacious hope expects miracles. And we get that hope from God. Then on this side is one of Gi's little labels, and I did a little piece of vintage lace and a vintage button. This is, oh, you already saw that, it flaps there. This is a coffee dyed library pocket from the Hopeful Bird. I did this, I've had it in my stash, a flower punch, and it matches beautifully. And then I put a fabric ruffle there, and you have from the Hopeful Bird her cinnamon coffee dyed library card. From the kit, this is from the kit, gorgeous. This is in my stash, and I added a sticker here, and this is some vintage doily pieces there for the tab. Vintage buttons on the fabric tab, one there too. Another gorgeous page from the kit. You can see what that is. I added a little small brown bag here, and this is from one of Gi's other kits that I did, the Magic of Music, which is still in my Etsy shop if you're interested. But this word harmony I had left over, so I put it here. This is one of the little label tags that you can journal on the back. Just a plain tag. And then this is from the Hopeful Bird. And it's Flower in the Crannied Wall by Tennyson. Flower in the crannied wall, I pluck you out of the crannies. I hold you here, root and all, in my hand. Little flower, but if I could understand what you are, root and all in all, I should know what God and man is. So that was sweet, and I just stuck that in here too, a little poem. It's just a piece of scrapbook paper. This is a sticker with wild black-eyed Susies. Another piece of her beautiful backing paper, and this page is beautiful with the daisies and collage. And this is just a vintage piece of crocheted lace. I used another one of her corner dealios as a tuck. And this is both sides, but you can journal on both sides. And then I have another of Gi's hearts, origami hearts. You could just fold out and journal on and have that tucked in there. And some vintage buttons. Tim Holtz Little Girls on some vintage lace over the top of this vintage, the paper from the kit. This is from the kit. It's a journaling card that I stuck down with washi. So you have some extra journaling space. From the other side of that ledger, here's a stenciling with some vintage rickrack, a fabric cluster with a vintage yellow button, another one of the beautiful tuck spots that Gi has in the kit. I love the shape of them. And then this pretty journaling card. This is another side of that bag that's a pocket. I just did some collaging with fabric, made this tag that I'm not going to pull it all the way out, but it's a long tag, skinny tag that you can pull out, and that's a vintage button. Then on this side is just a piece of lace and some vintage doily bits. This is a piece from a vintage doily off of either a tablecloth or a table cover of some sort on some paper. Some more of that. This says, "Soar on the breath of the creator of the universe." I love that saying. And if we do that, we don't have anything to be afraid of. And I did some stenciling there. This is just scrapbook paper. I used this from the kit as an up tuck. And this is from the Hopeful Bird. Just gives you some declarations. I can do all things through Jesus who strengthens me. Philippians 4:13. Unbreakable. Jesus brings out my brave. I am strong. I am strength. Living bravely with bold faith. The living love of Jesus is nested in me, in my soul. For me, with me, soul strong. I love that. And then this is just a little library card from my stash. And that's from Esther again. Belly band with a vintage little piece. And I put this vellum Bible verse, Joshua 24:15. "Choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve. As for me and my household, we will serve the Lord." I love that verse. Stick that in. I glued it down pretty tight so things wouldn't fall out. And you got another origami heart for journaling space. And I didn't ink in the middle of that one, so, just in case somebody didn't want that. And that's left blank for journaling. And this is a paper doily with a vintage doily piece and a vintage button in the middle. And I did the stenciling on the back. Finally, this is the last page. And you have this beautiful large journaling card and a guest check that I used some decorative scissors to cut out, and you can journal on that. Don't have to worry about it falling out. Then this I did to strengthen. This is the back side of the back cover to strengthen it a bit. So you've got, was Gi's belly bands that I stacked here in the middle. You lift this up for journaling space, and you flip this down for journaling space, and then it's a pocket, and you have a journaling card inside. So I thought that was kind of cool, and I used one of her ovals to make a tab to pull out that. So that's pretty cool. And that's it, folks. So I hope you like this raggedy shabby chic journal with Shabby Shades of Yellow. Please check out Gi's channel and go to her Etsy store and pick this up because it is gorgeous and you can do so much with it. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you, and remember that you are loved, and I love you guys, and I am so thankful for each and every one of you. I pray you have a blessed day. Bye-bye.